We are shifting focus now, though, to a controversy that US Vice President JD Vance has courted, receiving major backlash after he told a group of college students in Mississippi that he hopes that his wife, the Second Lady of the United States, Usha Vance, who's a Hindu, converts to Christianity. The comments came after Vance was questioned over his wife's faith. The former Ohio senator replied that his wife grew up in what he called was not a particularly religious Hindu family, going on to say that they've always had an open dialogue on religious matters, but how to raise their 3 children is something that was discussed, at which he said that I hope my wife does convert at some point.
Yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
Akanksha now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Akanksha, what explains the kind of comments that we are seeing from JD Vance? Because those comments have gone viral and he's receiving a lot of backlash.
Absolutely, and on expected lines, Poonam, because remember, this entire controversy has highlighted a lot of hypocrisy now coming in from this new changing evangelical Christian landscape of the United States, one that's endorsed by the likes of not just JD Vance. We've seen how the US president also took to Catholicism actively while campaigning for his presidency. Having said that, there are inherent contradictions in the claims that have been made, something that has also been called out on social media. A, he's saying that his wife has been agnostic. B, then he's still expecting her to convert to Catholicism. First of all, why even shelve such an expectation? This when the United States is a congressionally mandating country, which in fact has a commission on international religious rights. So charity begins at home, and which is why perhaps the US Vice President will be the best person to answer that. Why is he even expecting his wife to convert this when Usha Vance on record has publicly made it amply clear that she has no plans to convert? It also goes on to perhaps hint at a rift over here, because Usha Vance has made clear she has no plans to convert. Why is JD Vance then expecting her to convert is another key critical questions, which perhaps Democrats will also be capitalizing on now that the mayoral elections in New York City are also heating up. What's even more hypocritical is the fact that it was Usha Vance, the Second Lady of the United States, that actively supported him when he took to Catholicism in the year 2019. Even more shocking is the fact that when the US Vice President visited India, he also made a conscious effort to visit the Akshardham temple. Secondly, their second son is even named Vivek, which, as we all know, is a Hindu name. Usha Vance has always maintained that as far as religion is concerned, or taking towards Catholicism actively, or whether the children choose to get baptized, will be a matter of religious freedom. This is the very West, this is the very United States that so far used to boast about being the champion of international religious freedom. They pose questions to other countries, whether it is India or the Asian subcontinent. Would be interesting to see how Usha Vance responds to this kind of a claim and expectation that's been announced by the US Vice President.
Right, Akanksha, thank you so much for putting that in perspective for us.